response. I threw a brick in their face and charged in for a melee kill. And it worked. There was no laborious shift from prone to standing, and the throw aiming on the ground was just the same as normal. It felt like Naughty Dog in a nutshell, an incredible attention to detail to make the smallest of elements best in category. It might just be lying down, but it's also the best lying down I've ever done in a video game. Number 3, enemies are better at fighting you. This is partly because there are new types of enemy, as we'll get onto in a moment, which challenge you in different ways and force you to think about the best way to strategize using your scant resources. But they also seem much sharper. Taking advantage of those bigger environments, I found myself getting flanked more than I can remember from The Last of Us, backing into what I thought were safe rooms only to get shotgunned from behind. Number 4, more impactfully, the enemies are also more humanized. While taking on the WLF, the Washington Liberation Force, on the outskirts of Seattle, enemy fighters would call out their friends' names as I killed them. Introducing our play session, Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann explained that as a revenge story, The Last of Us Part 2 is about destructive cycles of violence. This tiny touch is a way of jolting players into reflecting on the significance of their actions.
What is it? Someone took him out!
Number 5, related to this, enemies now include dogs. Let's leave aside the gameplay implications of this for a moment and first look at the emotional ones. During the Seattle section of the game, Ellie finds a bow. It's embedded in a clicker and she has to tear it out, and it's brilliantly disgusting. It also gives her a way of one-shotting enemies from stealth during combat. Take out a dog and its human handler will stop in horror and check that the dog is okay. And if you kill the human first, the dog is sad and confused as to why its human pal isn't moving anymore. Number 6, don't feel too sorry for the dogs though, as they are tricky as heck to fight. They're small, so they too are hard to see in long grass. They can also smell you, so you can't creep up to stealth melee them. They disrupt your attempts to sneak around offing humans too. You leave behind a scent trail which you can see in listen mode, and if a dog is present you'll need to keep moving or distract them with thrown objects to avoid discovery. It gives what otherwise might be slow and patient stealth sections an anxious urgency and forces you to keep moving. And number 7, there are also new mutations of the clickers. The one I encountered is called a shambler, a big tank-like horror covered in thick growths